discovered a hilarious problem. This produces so much cactus. Wait a minute, what? Why isn't... So, okay, something's wrong here. It should be... Ah. That is absolutely full to the brim of things. That was jam... Aha. Right. On the Melon and Pumpkin Farms facade for, I don't know, like an hour now. We've already burned through pretty much all the terracotta we got for it. We are not significantly through it, so that means we don't have to get more, but this is the start. Obviously this layer here needs a lot more, but looking up here, I'm super happy with the way this is starting to come along. Let's get some fireworks and fly around. The problem with this build, and one of the reasons I've been having such a hard time finishing it, is because it's basically going to be super uniform and just tall, right? And fairly square. So I needed to find a way to mix in layering without deviating too much from this square-ish shape. So this is a big challenge, actually, but I think I'm doing all right at it, actually. This is coming out very well. I think I got that height just about right for what I wanted. So the idea is just, you know, playing with levelings and open spaces and stuff all the way up to the tippy top. And yeah, unfortunately though, I need to go get another like bunch of terracotta because I burned through pretty much all we got already. So good luck me. Okay, it's taken me a long time to complete this build, and it's not quite done. I need more. I don't have any more. I need a bunch more dark gray wool, but it's just going to take some time for my sheep farm to produce that, so we're just going to have to relax while that does its thing. In the meantime, we went ahead and lit up the places that didn't get wool on them, so that we don't have to worry about mobs spawning on it and falling down on us and ruining our days. And we're going to take ourselves a quick little fly around peeky poo at... Oh, you know what? It's not ready. Oh my god. Okay, for real now. I actually did it. So, I'll walk you through the thought process while building this behemoth and while we do a fly around. The idea... Well, first, the problem I had is I was restricted to this square pretty tightly. I need to be able to walk between these two buildings here and these two buildings here, and it looks like if I ever build anything around this, it'll be this tiny little walkway here. So I really needed to stick to the square that I'd already made with the water around it to trap my horses. I don't know what I'm ever going to do with them, if anything ever. And I couldn't... I couldn't go off on any side anywhere for quite some distance up because I have tall structures all around it. So I had to keep it all within this square space all the way up to the tippy top. I'm gonna go sleep real quick. So that was my first challenge that I had to overcome because I didn't want to make just a square box, and I don't have room to do that. And it's one thing to go over if you look at, say, this wall over here, where, like, you know, we take a flat wall, not that one obviously, you take a flat wall and you mix in a little bit of depth. I couldn't really do that with this build. So instead what I went ahead and I did is I did kind of like a Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated kind of thing. We've got like parts that hang over, you have different leveling, and I wanted to, first I needed to, hang on, we're experiencing some world lag. So I wanted to have some sort of pattern. So every layer's got this kind of dividing section that's more or less the same, and that's kind of like our pattern that we stick with everywhere. But I wanted to have every layer be unique, be different, play with levels and height in a slightly different way each time, and still make it to the absolute height. And honestly, I didn't think cyan, terracotta, and orange was gonna go so well together. That was a big surprise. I'd rather those be sea lanterns, I think, because there's less texture going on with them, but I don't have sea lanterns yet, so that's not something I can do. I can probably change that out later on, though. The windows offer us a little bit of depth to the blocks because we use glass panes, but really all of our height all of our level and depth play comes from actually just building a structure with different depths. And like I said, I'm really happy with the way it came out. I need more gray carpet to, you know, make it mob proof up there without lights. But other than that, like, this is done. It's ready for me to move my villager breeder up on top of it eventually. Okay, so we're just gonna ignore this project really quickly that we've been working on, and we're gonna look at this project. Now, I am so sick of villagers, and I think I'm finally done. As you may be able to tell, we finally have a villager breeder that works and breeds villagers. So, let's head on up and see what's going on here and talk about why it didn't work and hadn't been working. So, first things first. In the design that was down there, these guys were down one block, which means they couldn't reach their beds, which meant they never understood that those beds were places in their village. First problem I had. Second problem, this was actually out one block further. So this guy would walk up to this block, there was another block here, and then the villagers would be here. He couldn't throw carrots that far. They obviously couldn't. And I don't know why I didn't think about how I needed to just pull that forward. So we moved this over one block closer to here. So now he can come over here and throw carrots or potatoes or whatever he feels like doing to them, and they're able to breed. And this works infinitely now instead of once until the beds are full, because we're now far enough away from the village. That's about 130 blocks, I think, away, or 110, 100. There's 100 and some odd blocks between them there and them up there, which means the villagers down here cannot keep those beds. So this actually works. After endless fussing, we have a villager breeder and carrot/potato farm. It won't be potatoes for long, but also we're not getting very many carrots. But anyway, it works. Woo! Okay, so it's actually kind of a good thing that I messed up a couple of these blocks here, because otherwise that redstone would have gone and actually just got stuck above the composter. So it's not a big deal, actually. It didn't really do anything for us to forget that. But yeah, so the items we will re-demonstrate with this one poppy. It goes up, gets sorted into the sorter. Everything that 20-tooth poppy. Everything that is seeds, or maybe it's other compostable. So once we start to overflow on flowers, it will also continue through there. So that's neat, and you kind of will have like an infinite loop of bone mealing. So like, once we're full up on, say, cornflowers, if we ever are, and say we've got 3 chests full of cornflowers, and then only half a chest of oxide daisies, the cornflowers will then start to help produce other flowers, which is neat, and a consequence I totally didn't even do on purpose. So cool. So once this creates bone meal, it goes down here, goes zorp up along back here, where the bone meal from everywhere else comes. So that's the bone meal from all my other farms. The bone meal from there will come along and into that hopper and back into the system, where it'll be like, all of these chests are full, and it'll go back over to here, turn on the dispenser, and yabba dabba. Awesome. That was the lamest thing I've ever said. Yeah, there it is. There's our machine for the day. It took actually only a couple hours, so good job me. Pat on the back. I earned that really lame pat on the back. Okay, we should very soon see this thing just start automatically fire. Oh god. Okay, so we actually had one of these chests weren't full for a little while there, and so that's why it wasn't firing for a little bit. Now why aren't you going? Aha, okay. Now, please. I can do that as long as I have to. Oh, here we go. So here's a problem. A fun riddle. This doesn't actually go every single time an item comes in, if they come in too quickly, which means, oh, we're doing okay, but theoretically this could back up. Theoretically. It shouldn't, the speed of the hoppers should limit it, I think, but I'm not certain. So yeah. So far it looks like it's doing a fantastic job though. Oh, here it is backing up here, though. Now, why... Is this ever gonna shut off? Or is there still, like... Yeah, okay, so that's a backlog. This will shut up when it works through this backlog door. I'm not gonna jam this into it real quick. And then I think these ones are going to go into there and fill it up. And the reason this is... Yes. Please don't do this. Oh, interesting. Those are... I'm confused. I'm incredibly confused about what's going on there. So that one comes in, and that'll cause it to go. Why? Oh, I have to cap that off. That's fine. I don't know why these are getting stuck. What happens if this gets full? Does it matter? Oh, it doesn't matter. In fact, I think that'll force that to work. So let's put... Oh. It has its own failsafe. Oh, boy. I'm telling you, that is some good news, my dudes. I was worried I was going to have to do something. I'll explain what I was planning on doing if that didn't work. What I was going to do is have a dropper slow down the items by dropping them into that, and that would force it to go at a speed that it could handle and not, like, jam itself up. But it's totally not necessary, which is incredible. That is incredible. So, yeah, this is just gonna work, and on its own time, always produce flowers. Wow. Great! There we go. We've started our project... What? We started our library here, which is the next project we're going to, tackle. And we just finished drawing the footprint for it. So what I'm thinking is we'll have these kind of like, easier to look at it from this way, these kind of like stone pillars. It's all going to be built mostly out of regular stone for a kind of like, functional, postmodern, modernist, archetype of a build. We're going to have these kind of corner pillars at each thing rectangularly, and then these central offshoot like spire things that go up and also help this wall not be a flat line. And there'll be a staircase on either side that take you to, up to higher levels here. I'm thinking it'd be very tall and almost like a cathedral. We'll call it like a cathedral of learning. And we'll store our books and cartographers here. And I think we're going to let the cartographers kind of free roam. We're going to keep a bunch of them at a time, but every time we get an ocean monument from the first handful, I think we're just going to murder them. Because, like, we don't have a use for them once they're used up. Until we've got lots of, my brain has completely shut down. A lot of, it's the, sponges. Wow, I actually was just talking about them a second ago. A lot of sponges. So once we've got a bunch of sponges, we'll, stop murdering our cartographers. But until then, this is going to be a library and also a murder house. This is pretty much the height that we're going to do for this build. There's a lot of work on the outside to be done, but I think before I do that, I'm going to do the inside and make sure I've got all my bookshelves and things like that I'm going to put in this actually fairly small space in. Yeah, I guess it's time to decide what kind of wood I'm going to use, and I think I am going to go with dark oak and just kind of hope it goes okay with regular oak for the bookshelves. Ooh. Don't mind me. So let's go grab ourselves some of these. We're probably going to want to have scaffolding, now that I think about it. So let's grab that. And then just grab, I don't know, just a few stacks of this stuff. Some chests maybe to store things in. What else might I want? Okay, let's do... Actually, let's try and use lanterns for light. I think that might look a lot better, now that I think about it. Do I have 40 that? It's a start, I think. That's a start. Do I have any more iron bars? No. Okay, well, there we are. Let's get to it. Alright, we've made some pretty solid progress. We've got 4... So all of this floor is... we don't have the minecarts in all of them yet. I'm kind of lucky we picked this one. We've got all the things that'll store books in, so you go in here, you're like, I want this book. That's an enchanted book I just grabbed. You read it, you're like, oh, that's not the enchantment I want, which you could actually just do here. And then you get off, and you're done browsing through that one, and it goes back, and you're like, what about over here? What do I have over here? And same thing will go on. And then just for looks, I thought it would be cool to have this little walkway up here. You know, so you can access these books if you were looking for some literature. And we could actually even slip in some lecterns in some of these spots and have books. If we had books to read, we could do that. Actually, it might look good to do that anyway, so we'll totally look into that. And now, this is pretty much the first floor as far as, like, things that are going to go in it for sure. Obviously, we have to do the floor and stuff, so... Yeah. I think I realize I haven't actually... made certain... Oh, I hate myself. We're gonna have to move that, obviously. These are gonna have to get torn out on both sides and centered around this point, which is okay. It doesn't have to be centered like it was. I can't believe I completely forgot about that really important thing. Ugh, yuck. Good job, me. Only me. And also totally other people would forget about that. It's not a big deal. Okay, yeah. So we'll do that. And, honestly, because I've kind of got this thing going on. I'll show you over here. These center corner... Nope. The center corners in here. Yeah, these. These I was planning on storing villagers in here. Like cartographers or whatever. And it kind of would make sense to have these be staircases. But then I wouldn't have anyone for my cartographers. And I was going to have those be staircases on either side that go up. Oh, wow. This is... Some decisions are going to have to be made, I think. Because I want to have... I've decided I want to have, like, a window. Oh, it's 4. Never mind. We're not going to have a window here. All right, decision made. Okay, so we have pretty much finished the interior of this place, actually. There's some, you know, small, minor, and also not super small, minor changes I plan on making. But this is... pretty much it. I'll walk you through the tour. So we've got all of our little storage thingies in. So you stand on this and some books come your way and you're like, oh, look at all these enchanted books I got. You walk through this little place up here and you head up to this floor and it's pretty much the exact same thing. Here come the goodies. Hey, look, my, all these chests, books. And you can walk around almost... I want to have like a big window here, I think. Maybe some sort of like structure. I don't know. We're definitely going to do something more down there and in that side. But then you can walk all the way around to the other end here. And look at this arch. I'm really happy with the way these came out and the way it looks through that window. We'll go look at that again in a second. And yeah, same stuff. So when you want to get down, you just go into the water down here. It is both aesthetic and functional. And yeah, let's go get a quick peek at this. So what I'm going to be doing next is we're going to enchant hella books. Yeah, look at this. Like, I obviously have to do a lot of work to the exterior, and that'll come when I figure out what I want to do with it. But for now, this is pretty much it. Oh, you know what? I still have to put in the villager stuff, but that's, again, not doing that right now. We're going to go enchant a boatload of books, and then trade with villagers so we can enchant even more books, and that's going to be my life for a while.